Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel NetDev. Today we are going to work on the Netflix website that we developed earlier. So let me just start serving the website that we created. So this was the website that we created, and this one is the official Netflix website that we have over here. So we tried to make it as similar as we can, and as you can see it's pretty much similar, just a few difference in the sizes, and most of it is very similar. Let me just show. So this is the one that we created, and today what we are going to do is work on this part over here, this part. So as you can see, this part, the answer for these questions appear when we click on these questions. So what we are going to do today is work on this, going to work on how to display these questions, how to display these answers when these questions are clicked. So what we will need for this is JavaScript, and this is what we are going to do. So if we look at the code, yeah, this is the part for this. So we have the question over here and the answer over here. So we will be working on this one. Now looking at the styles, if we see over here, so there's a much bigger gap over here in the question. So I will try to fix this first. Okay, so we are over here. So the div ending, I think this is the class representing that part. So I will put some more padding into this on the top. So let me go with 2% and see how it will look now. Okay, much better. Let's go 2.5%. Yeah, this one is much better, like that one in the original website. So when we click here, so there is also much bigger gap, so I will make that one in the answers part as well. So I will create much more gap in this part over here. So what we can do is use padding for this as well. So if we look at the HTML, we can see that this part is represented by this class FAQ answer. So I'm going to work on that. So I will make the padding of 2.5% over here as well. So let's see. So this is our website here. We can see there is a much bigger gap now. So one thing is that in the original website there are 6 questions. So I will copy and paste all of this so that we will have 6 questions now. So what I'm going to do is copy and paste this part. For one question, second question, this will be for third question, fourth question, fifth question, and then sixth question. So I will put comment as well. Second question, so let me do this. So this one will be the third question. fourth question. Oh, sorry, that's my bad. Fifth. And then the sixth. So now let's put all the questions from the over here from the website. So how much does Netflix cost? How much does Netflix cost? How much does Netflix cost? Let's copy paste the answer. So I think this first paragraph had some. Okay, so this one is going to affect our display of the answer. So what am I going to do is remove this. Why we kept this one is because like some questions they have got two paragraphs, as you can see. Okay, let's see over here. Suppose this question has two paragraphs, so that one, the first paragraph class was given so that I can create this gap over here. I can create this margin, so when there is only one paragraph I don't need this because there is already a padding on top and bottom, so this will create much more bigger gap in between, so I'm going to remove that. So I will just keep the p tag for the part that has only one paragraph. So now let's go to the third question. And in the third question, like why, like I cannot copy paste this question, so I'm just typing it. Where can I watch Netflix? And then I can copy and paste the answers. So let me copy this first paragraph, keep it under the first paragraph. Let's bring it all within the display so that it will be easier for us. Okay, and then now let's copy paste the second one. Okay, this one is mine. Now the fourth question. How do I cancel? Let's copy the answer now. Okay, that's done as well. Let me just write what will happen if I write 12013. I think it's not necessary, so I'll just keep this. And then let's go to fifth question now. Let's do this quickly. What can I watch on Netflix? What can I watch on Netflix? So you can skip this part if you are that's been done over there. It's been going on, so let me copy paste this one as well, put it over here for the answer, move this, and then from here till here copy and paste. Now go to the sixth question, last one, and then we can, is Netflix good for kids? Is Netflix good for kids? So this one, let's see. So this is the sixth question. Let's bring the answers. Okay, that's done. So now I've saved this file so we can see the changes over here. So now we have got all the questions, and the problem is we don't have a border over here on the top, so I'm going to put a border as well. So on the questions, see here, like, so when this answer finishes, the next question seems like it is inside the same box. So I'm going to remove that by creating a border on top. So let's put the border desktop 2px solid black. Or maybe just put the border for everywhere, border on the bottom as well. Let's see what happens. So this is the Netflix website, this one. Okay, yeah, now we can see that the border has been applied. And let's try to now what am I going to do is hide all the answers. So now we can see that we only have the questions. Okay, I need the border over here as well. Let's put border FA questions. Border is to 2px solid black. Okay, now I've got the border over here. Actually the border over here is much bigger, so I will make it even more bigger then. So I will make the border much bigger. Let's put 5 pixels. And now let's see. Yeah, so there has been much bigger gap. Let me just comment out this one to see why isn't it commenting. Okay, because I forgot CSS has a different convention to comment out. Okay, now let's keep it back and let's hide this answers. So now we cannot see the answer. So, and we can see that in the Netflix website this looks like a button. So when the mouse goes over here, it changes to pointer, and then I can click on it, and then this thing shows So that's what I'm going to do with JavaScript. So I'm going to turn this one into a button, and when I click on this, the answer will display. So that's what I'm going to do. So now let's start working on that one. So first of all, in the index file, let's turn every questions into a button. So this is the first one, so I will write button. So let's copy and paste this. So I'm going to change everything into button now for all of these 6 questions part. That's a button. So this one is a button. So what this will allow us to do is have the option to click, and when we click, we can then display the answer. So I've changed everything into button. Let's save the file. Let's see the changes. So now everything has moved to the right, I mean to the center. So I'm going to do is push these questions to the left. So how am I going to do that is put a class for this span. So let's put a class of questions in word. Let's give this class, and while I'm here, I'm also going to give this span class of plus sign, because I'm going to have multiple use over here. So let's do this. So let's give class to every span over here, and then change all the ID for plus sign. To class. So let's do this quickly. So we are on the 5th question, shouldn't take much time. Okay, let's change this as well over here. This is the 6th question. So let's see if we have made changes in everyone. 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd and 1st one. Okay, let's save this. Now let's see. Okay, now everything has moved to the left, everything has moved to the center, sorry. Now what I need to do is push this question to the left and push the plus sign to the right. So now let's go to the styles, and then let's work on the class word question in word. I think that was the class that I gave. Yeah, questions in word. Okay, so questions in word. Let's see with float is to left. So let's see. Okay, yeah, that has worked. And this one is easy because it was just plus sign. We just need to change the hashtag to dot to represent class. So let's see the changes. Yeah, that has been done. And let's change the cursor to pointer. When the cursor moves to the button, let's change it to pointer, so that users can know that we can click on this. Let's do that. So now we can see. So when we hover this cursor on top of this button, it will turn to pointer. So now users can know that they can click on this. So now let's work on the functionality. When we click on this, let's display the answer. So for this, let's create a folder over here for JavaScript, and then let's add a file and give this name. Let's give netflix.js. and in the index file we need to create a link to the script. So let's give it a script tag, and then source is equal to js/netflix.js. so what this will create is it will create a link to the netflix.js file, and then it will access all the JavaScript code from there and implement in this website. I think you must be familiar with this. Anyway, let's start working on this one. Let's go to the file over here, netflix.js. so what I need to do for this is first of all get access to all the questions over here. So how can I get access to all of these questions is by using query selector all. So let me just create a variable, let's give this a name of questions, and we are going to get access to that by using the query selector all method. So give this a name of, so I'm going to select all the class that has a class of this FA questions. So let me represent this. Okay, let me get this. So let's see what questions will be looking like. So let me just console log this one. So if we go to this and let's see the source, and if we go to the console, we can see that 6 questions have been pushed inside an array. So this variable is an array of these questions. Okay, so this part, so that questions variable is array of these things from all these 6 questions. So that's what we did with this code. By selecting the query selector all, we put everything inside this question in an array. So now let's do the same thing for answers as well. So now I'm going to put all the answers inside this answers variable by getting access to this by selecting the query selector all, and then using the class of this one. Okay, that's done as well. So one thing in this Netflix website is when we click over here, so the plus sign changes to cross. So that's what we need to do on our website as well. So in order to do that, as you can see, for every plus sign in every question, we have a class of plus sign. So I'm going to get access to all of this. So same thing, I'll do the same thing. Let's just write plus signs is equal to document.query selector all plus sign. Now let's check if everything is working or not, if we have got access to the right one or not. Let's do that. In order to check, let's console log. So let's save and then check the website over here. Okay, so yeah, we have got everything. Okay, that's better now. So now let's remove this, and now in order to display and check if if this answer is visible or not, let's create a variable is this visible. So I'm going to create a variable called is this variable, give this a value of true. Now let's get to the function part. Let show answers, create a function called show answers function. So I will give an argument I, and this will represent the index for array. So why am I using the trying to get access to the index is because everything that has been written by this document.query selector all has pushed it inside these variables, and these variables are arrays. So these variables represent arrays. So what am I going to do is get access to one of the value of the array. Suppose if I'm going to click on one question, that will be in certain index. For example, if I click on the first question, that will be in the index 0. And what am I going to do is when I click on the 0 index question, the answer for 0 indexed answers will be opened. So that's what I'm trying to do. Sorry, my English is a little bit not good because it's my second language, so I think what am I trying to say might not be quite understandable, but once I do this code, once I write this course in the JavaScript, it will be understandable. So this I will be representing index. So now what am I going to do is create a if tag. If is this visible? If this is visible, if it is true, then what am I going to do is get answers I dot style display equal to block. So what am I doing over here is when I click on one question, the answer underneath the question will be displayed, because before for the answers we have hidden it by using display is to none property. So now what am I going to do over here is when I click on it, the display will be changed to block, means it will be visible, and I am going to do that for only one question. So when I click one question, that one will be open, other one will not open. Only the answer for a certain question will open. And then now what I need to do is I need to change the plus sign to cross as well. So for this I'm just going to write text content is equal to, and I'm going to write X. It will change into, the plus sign will change into X. And now let's work on the else part. Answers I dot style dot display equals to none, and then plus signs I dot text content is equal to plus. Okay, so if I click on this, the answers will appear, and then the plus will change to X, and if I click back again, then it will be like the answers will be gone and the X will be changed to plus. But for now what will happen is only I will be able to show the answers, but I will not be able to hide. Okay, now what I need to do is create a on-click event on these questions. So button, for all the button, on click is equal to show answers, and then I'm going to give this an argument 0. So for the first question I'm going to give this argument 0, and for the second question I'm going to give this argument 1, because in an array, you know, the index starts from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, and this first question is in 0 index over there, so that's why I'm putting 0 over here. Let me just copy paste and put all of the questions over there. Let me write 0 over here as well. And now let's, for the first question I am going to give this 1. For the second question I am going to give this 2. For the third question I am going to give this 2. Oh, what did I do? Okay, 3. Fourth question I am going to give this 3. For the fifth question I am going to give this 4, and for the sixth question I am going to give this 5. So what will happen is this number will be passed. Suppose you are clicking on the first one over here, so we have got an argument 0, so instead of I, 0 will be passed over here, and then when we click, answers 0 will be displayed. So what's in the answers array in 0 index? The first answer over here, so that one will be opened, and the plus sign of the first question will be turned to X. Now let's see if this is working or not. Let's save the file, let's save the index file as well, and now let's see. Okay, if I click on this, yeah, as you can see the plus sign has changed to X and the answers has displayed, but I am unable to close this back. Why? Because we haven't worked on the is this visible part, is this visible variable. So that variable will help us to turn this off, like close the display or display the answer or not display. So that's the work of this variable, is this visible. So let's do this. So when I click, what am I going to do is turn is this visible to false, and then else what am I going to do is this visible to true. So now we can turn in, we can display the answers and hide the answers as necessary. So let's see. So the answers has appeared on my first click, and when I click it, it will disappear. See, and the X has changed to plus as well. Okay, let's click on the other question. Yeah, that's working. See, now it's working just like in the Netflix website. So yeah, that's it guys. So now we have, that's the Netflix website over here. So there is much bigger margin, the text are quite bigger as well, so we can work on that if you'd like, and then try to make it look same, but that's the basic thing. And as far as we are concerned, we have done the same thing, it looks quite similar. And as you can see, when I click on this one is now getting displayed and getting hidden as necessary, and the plus sign is also changing to X. So this is the JavaScript addition part for this series, and that's it for today. Thank you guys. Please like and subscribe, and give comments on like any suggestions that you have. That will be really appreciated. Thank you so much for watching this video, and see you next time.